to stop the Yellowstone Park volcano. Are you serious? What the? How to? Are you kidding me? Yellowstone Park. There has to be a way. Wait a second. Don't you? There's a way. There's a way. Oh yeah, God, this stupid shit doesn't work. If you nuke
This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. Volcanoes are nature's nuclear bombs. The biggest was 10,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb blast, a terrifying reminder of what can happen when Earth blows its top. And then there are supervolcanoes that can cause eruptions of more than 600 cubic miles of magma. These are rare, with the last eruption happening at Toba in Sumatra, Indonesia, 74,000 years ago. Yellowstone National Park is actually situated over a supervolcano. It has had 3 massive eruptions, the first of which occurred some 2.1 million years ago. So what if we combine this force of nature with a man-made destructive force? That's what we'll find out in this episode of the Infographic Show. What would happen if we detonated a nuke in Yellowstone volcano? In 2015, a Russian geopolitical analyst, Konstantin Zykov,
You're my new best friend.
No.
This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. Volcanoes are nature's nuclear bombs. The biggest was 10,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb blast, a terrifying reminder of what can happen when Earth blows its top. And then there are supervolcanoes that can cause eruptions of more than 600 cubic miles of magma. These are rare, with the last eruption happening at Toba in happen if we detonated a nuke in Yellowstone volcano. In 2015, a Russian geopolitical analyst, Konstantin Zykov, who at the time was the president of the Academy of Geopolitical Problems based in Moscow, was quoted in the Russian press VPK News as saying the best way to attack the United States is to detonate a nuclear weapon and trigger a supervolcano at Yellowstone National Park or along the San Andreas Fault Line on California's coast. It sounds like a Hollywood movie-style tactic, but would it actually work? Yellowstone National Park sits right on top of a massive volcano. It's categorized as a supervolcano. But why? Well, for one, the Yellowstone caldera is a crater measuring a huge 45 miles across. If a nuclear bomb was detonated above the mouth of the volcano, then it might cause a little damage to the edges of the crater, but it's unlikely it would ignite an eruption because the blast radius of the bomb is too small to reach the pressurized chamber of magma. But the bomb would produce a fireball and incinerate everything in its near vicinity, and with all the rubble produced, it's possible that landslides would follow. Onlookers would also witness the signature mushroom cloud, and there would be a high-pressure air blast that would knock down trees and concrete buildings. If the nuclear bomb was 1 megaton in size, the blast radius would be 5,700 feet across, and the shock wave 3 miles beyond that. At 50 seconds after the explosion, when the fireball is no longer visible, the blast wave would have traveled about 12 miles at around 784 miles per hour. And anyone who survived the blast would suffer a lethal dose of thermal radiation, resulting in third-degree burns to the skin. Okay, so that's some destructive stuff. But what if a bomb was actually fired directly into the chamber? Yellowstone has 2 magma chambers. The shallower one stretches from 3 miles
But wait, you can't die if you're not near it though. Oh wait, we can't die! Because we're not near it! Yes, but God! Believe in this man. Oh my God, this. If I literally I prayed to God literally 20 minutes ago. And now you're saying that it's not gonna happen. Bruh. I did all that shit for no reason. You are. Oh my. What the? Let me reply to this kid. I know.
Yeah, here we go. Cross. Nice. Here we go. Big leg. Yeah. Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Chief, what are you doing?